What's up, fuckers, and welcome back to another rebuild here on NBA 2K22 Next Gen. Today, the post-Dejounte Murray San Antonio Spurs rebuild. Now, it kind of hit me that I never really did this rebuild when this trade went down, and along with that, I've also had a couple requests to do a Spurs rebuild. I thought, why not make the best of both worlds today? San Antonio Spurs post-Dejounte Murray rebuild. So this trade obviously happened a while ago. I'm assuming that 99% of you know what it is, but just in case you do not know, Dejounte Murray, who was the best player on the San Antonio Spurs, was traded to the Atlanta Hawks for Danilo Gallinari, a 2023 first-round pick via Charlotte from New York. It's protected somehow. A 2025 first-round pick, a 2026 pick swap, and a 2027 first-round pick. So there's some picks in there. Obviously, that was the main focal point. It wasn't Danilo Gallinari, who they very quickly released. He's now a Celtic, but yeah, it was kind of a small return in my opinion. I think the main thing that the Spurs' goal here was they want to suck for this year. I think Victor Wembanyama is probably who they have in mind moving forward to be their kind of star of the future. We'll get into all that once we get in the video. Before we do, of course, if you guys are new around here and you have not yet, could subscribe to the channel. We are on the road to 30K. Every single one counts, and I really do appreciate it. Leave any other video ideas you guys want to see down below in the comments section. Obviously, the Donovan Mitchell rumors are heating up. The Kevin Durant rumors seem to have died down a little bit, but if you want to see a KD or Kyrie rebuild, let me know in the comment section. And of course, if you could leave a like on this video, I'd appreciate that as well. But without further ado, man, the post-Dejounte Murray Spurs rebuild, this might be a little painful. Let's get into it. So we can kind of quickly go over this roster. There is a decent amount of young talent on it. Unfortunately, that I'll show you guys in just a second, the way the current Spurs roster is kind of constructed, I don't think there's one real point guard on it. So what I actually went ahead and did, I took the liberty of signing 2 point guards that are not currently on a team in real life. Threw them on here because the game was going to sign somebody for me anyways. I wanted to make sure I got guys that were not on a team. So I added Dennis Schroeder and Dennis Smith Jr. to this team. Now, the reason I'm doing both of these moves, and obviously they're both overpaid dramatically for what neither of them was going to get this offseason or will get, is, let me explain this to you a little bit. I think a guy like Dennis Schroeder could come in here, possibly be moved to the deadline, and more likely would be a 1-year deal than a 2-year deal. Could potentially help out a contender for some depth, something like that. It's a possible move for the Spurs. Maybe he'd get a little more in San Antonio than he would somewhere else. Somebody like Dennis Smith Jr., who has been doing workouts for NBA teams, could take a flyer on him here in San Antonio. You never really know what could happen. Other than that, there still is a lot of young talent. Devin Vassell, who is the 2021 draft, correct? No, 2020, excuse me. Not bad. Again, I don't know if we're going to be building around him as our starter. Joshua Primo was the 2021 draft. That's what I was thinking of. So, and then they have Malachi Branham, who they took 20th overall in 2022. I believe they had 3 first-round picks in 2022, and they used all of them. Blake Wesley is another 22. Oh my god, do they have 4? I'm all over the place. But yeah, we have 4 young guards here, 22 or under with all of them, and they should all have a decent amount of team control. So that's something we're definitely going to have moving forward. We're obviously going to have to make some decisions. I wouldn't be surprised if I honestly sent 1 or 2 of these guys to the G League for this season, maybe a little bit of development. Josh Richardson, who for whatever reason is on this Spurs team right now, I have absolutely no idea why. He probably will either be moved this offseason or sometime next season. I just don't see him riding out a full year in San Antonio for no reason. Danilo House is not on this team in real life. It was just one of the auto-generated guys on this game side. Keldon Johnson, I will try to fix his shot tendency. It's really annoying that this happens every single time, but he's probably the best player on the team now. I'm probably going to go ahead and try to use him, but we'll see. The shot tendency thing pisses me off. Jeremy Sohan, I believe that's how you pronounce it. So I think so. 9th overall pick out of Baylor. Definitely want to develop him again. We can try to find a rotation eventually that has him and Keldon Johnson in it. Keldon Johnson, obviously, only 6'6", so can really play a multitude of positions on the floor. And then the center spot, Jakob Poeltl, 7'1", probably one of the older players on this team in real life, which is kind of weird to think about. Wouldn't be surprised if they maybe tried to move on from him at the deadline if they really are sucking. Could potentially get a first-round pick, good backup center. Isaiah Roby, who came over via waivers. I believe the Oklahoma City Thunder just released him for whatever reason, but yeah, I'll take him. I'm sure he's already pissed enough for God knows what reason. Yeah, it makes no sense. And then Zach Collins, I believe, did they either sign him? They did something with him, but obviously he has an injury history, and they've kind of taken a flyer on him. Not a bad move when you're in a full rebuild like this. But yeah, I'm going to set a rotation. I'm going to fix some shot tendencies. It's probably not going to do anything, but what I actually might do, I might try to move somebody like Malachi Branham, that's how you pronounce it, to the small forward spot where he actually goes up to a 77 overall. And then I'm honestly probably going to start him there, have Richardson be the backup, and then, yeah, we can work from there. But, yeah, let me fix some shot tendencies, and I'll see you guys at the rotation. I fixed the shot tendencies. It didn't do anything. I have no idea. It's frustrating, but it's kind of the way it goes. Yeah, this might be the swan song for Greg Popovich. Obviously, this is not exactly what this Spurs team is going to look like, but it feels kind of weird to have one of, if not potentially the best coach in NBA history, Greg Popovich, go out on a note that the Spurs are really going to fucking blow. Like, that honestly sucks. I'm not saying it's going to affect his legacy in any way, shape, or form. I'm just saying it's a tough way to see a really good coach go out. But yeah, here's how it's going to look. Dennis Schroeder, Devin Vassell, Malachi Branham, Keldon Johnson, and Jakob Poeltl. Obviously, probably the worst team in the NBA. Bench unit, Josh Richardson, Isaiah Roby, Jeremy Sohan, Dennis Smith Jr., and Joshua Primo. I'm playing the bench a little bit more just because, again, a lot of young pieces want to get that development working off on the bench as well. What I'm actually going to do is see who is the backup shooting right here. It's Blake Wesley. I'm going to sign him to the G League this year. Maybe we can get some a little bit of development down there. Other than that, we are all set. I will see you guys at the end of year number 1. It's probably going to be a painful one. So, yeah, shocker, we were not very good. We were dead last here in the West. I'm assuming dead last in the NBA. Obviously, the lottery hopefully is going to play into our favor. No matter what, I'm going to trade up and get Victor Wembanyama. I'm just saying. Also, another shocker, Luka Doncic, MVP, Chet Holmgren, Rookie of the Year, Ben Simmons, Giannis, Saban Lee, Nate McMillan, Coach of the Year. Wow, surprise Pop didn't win in his final year. Let's check out the standings. Oh boy, here we go. 11 wins? We're that bad? I knew we were bad. I didn't know about 11 wins bad, but I guess we successfully tanked. Keldon Johnson is still fucking pissed. I don't really know. Like, it's obviously something with this shot tendency, but like, I don't know. I really don't know. Nor do I really care. I'm probably going to trade him anyways. I don't want to trade him, but the way I've been doing this throughout these rebuilds is that it gets so annoying and so frustrating for me that if your shot tendency continues to go down and your overall is just super butthurt, like I'm assuming, holy shit, everybody's pissed. Yep. I have no idea what's wrong with Keldon Johnson. I guess it's his time of the month probably, along with everybody else. I know it's obviously not like it's the game's fault for being dumb or whatever you want to call it, but it's just annoying. All right, we're projected the number 1 overall pick. We also have number 12 via Toronto. Let's see if we end up with number 1 overall. We end up with number 5, because why wouldn't we end up with number 5? I mean, obviously. We also have number 12. What I'm going to probably do is try to trade up to number 1. That's obviously something I would want. I didn't even check. I will see if Popovich retired. Yeah, he said enough after 11 wins. So let me just go after another really good head coach here in Mike Stauffer, who obviously is statistically the best coach in the game. We'll now head up to the draft and see what we can do here. I'll see you guys with the trade. The Oklahoma City Thunder have the number 1 overall pick, and I want it. I'll give you Dennis Smith Jr. if you really want him. You can also have, where the hell is he, Dennis Schroeder, if you want him. I have no idea. It's kind of weird. Like, obviously, these guys, as you can see, have 2-star value for the Thunder. It's just weird because I'm assuming, like, contracts like this would probably have negative value, which I think that's something that 2K really has kind of opposite, and it's something they really do need to fix, like, just in future years. I mean, will they? Probably not, because they're just a dog shit company that doesn't care about their game, especially this mode. But just in general, I feel like you probably have to go ahead and do something with, like, contracts that, like, think about this hypothetically, like the Russell Westbrook contract. Like, it's obviously a hard contract to trade, but, like, that's an extreme negative value. Like, you should not be able to, like, get, like, a pick for that. Like, you should be having to give up a pick and, like, obviously taking something back that's also not valuable. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just doesn't really make any sense for, like, contracts like that. Or, like, I'm trying to think of somebody else off the top of my head. But you kind of get, like, the John Wall ginormous contract before he got bought out by the Rockets. You know what I'm saying? Also, buyouts. Put it in 2K. I'm going to make a wish list soon. Victor Wembanyama is officially San Antonio Spur. I'm sure you guys just saw the trade that I just did. But, yeah, he's going to be here. It looks like Jakob Poeltl won't even re-sign with us anyways. And I'm assuming Keldon Johnson won't either. It looks like he's a free agent. Sky Clark here. We need a point guard. I have no idea who you are, but welcome to San Antonio. Definitely a position of need. Victor's an 80 overall. Sky Clark's actually 74. Who knows if we'll keep him or re-sign or let him, be the backup, whatever. Vassell, Collins, Primo, all coming back. Worst comes to worst, we can trade them. So Keldon Johnson does have the qualifying. That's not something I realized. I don't know why. I thought he was a second-round pick, but he was not. So we can obviously match any offer, which is cool. Speaking of that, I almost wanted to do, or I did. I planned on doing the DeAndre Ayton Pacers rebuild today. And then, obviously, the Suns matched it when you're seeing this. It was last night, but it was tonight when I'm recording this. But just funny to see, funny to kind of look at. So we do have money, which is obviously nice. We have a little bit of flexibility. I think somebody like Darius Garland could be cool. I'm assuming the Cavs are going to match any offer he gets, unfortunately, which is kind of sucky, but it's kind of the way this is probably going to go today. So Looking at the roster right now, Victor is obviously going to be our starting center. Zach Collins, not a bad backup center. I don't mind starting Sohan or so. I think it's Sohan. I'm actually going to look it up. Branham as well here. Actually, a pretty solid rookie year, I think. Yeah, 12, 4, and 3.5. It's not terrible. Vassell, how'd he do? Like, we just need, like, a transcendent player. Like, obviously, we're not going to snap our fingers, get a Giannis or a Luka or a LeBron or somebody like that. But we need to get, like, a star player. And that obviously goes without being said. I'm assuming Zion's going to go back to the Pelicans no matter what. He would obviously be a fun one to get. I think we're more realistically probably in the conversation with, like, a Zach LaVine or a Bradley Beal. And, like, obviously, neither of these two guys should even be here. Actually, they shouldn't even be here because they should have max contract extensions. But I'll keep my hands off of that. Sounds weird. I won't go ahead and I won't negotiate with them because they wouldn't be here hypothetically with those extensions. So, yeah, this free agency class sucks. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is probably just wait until the next offseason. But I will sign somebody like Fred VanVleet. I'll give him probably a 3-year deal. I'm actually going to front load it a little bit so we can maybe get a little bit more on the back end of that deal. So I'll give him probably about $22 million. That will be front loaded, so it'll go down per year. So Fred VanVleet, you want to come in and be potentially my newest? No, you don't. All right, well, I tried. I can't blame him. The Raptors gave him a pretty good offer. Anthony Simons also wouldn't hypothetically be here. That sucks. I don't think VanVleet got an extension. Could maybe bring in a guy like Colin Sexton. What's his playmaking? He's an A- playmaking. So pretty decent system match. That's not really something I ever look at, but it's just kind of funny to see. Maybe could bring in Sexton and play him at the point guard spot. At the end, this is probably something I'm going to want to front load a little bit, and I'll give him a little bit more money just so I can maybe get him here. $25 million is a lot for him, but it's something that I'd probably have to do. Keldon Johnson has a couple offers, but looks like he doesn't want to, talk with us too much. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to bring in Colin Sexton. Keldon Johnson only has a $5 million offer, or not offer, but a $5 million cap hit. Cap hold, whatever you want to call it. So I'm going to bring him back. I'm not just going to let him go. Fred VanVleet goes to the Raptors. It would have been a cool addition. Keldon Johnson's going to go to the Wizards. I still have money for both of them, so I'm going to go ahead and bring Keldon Johnson back. Worst comes to worst, I'll trade him next offseason, but I'm not just going to let him go for nothing. So it might be another painful year here in San Antonio, but at least we have some new talent here with Victor Wembanyama. I'm going to go ahead and move Colin Sexton down to the point guard spot. Oh, not new. He's an 85 overall at small forward, 84 at point guard. You can call him a two-guard. I believe, personally, the NBA's positionless. What are his assist numbers just in the history? So they're obviously not too high. More of a shooting guard, definitely. But, I'm honestly fine with that, even if it's just for a year. So Vassell will still get the start here in year number 2. Other than that, we'll sign a new backup small forward for Branham. And, that's pretty much going to be it. I'll bring in a little bit of defense here with Matisse Thybulle. And that'll probably be it. I'll see you guys at the start of year number 2. Not going to be a good season again. Although we will not be competing anything like that in the playoffs this year, this team has definitely gotten better. And again, I still think we have a lot of flexibility, especially come this offseason, to maybe be in potential for a really big free agent or either a really big trade. But here's how it's going to look. Colin Sexton, Devin Vassell, Malachi Branham, Keldon Johnson, Victor Wembanyama. A much better starting 5 than how it looked last season. Obviously, progression has helped that as well. It looks like Keldon Johnson's not too pissed right now. He's obviously, as you can see, not loyal right there on your screen. I don't really have an opinion on my next contract since I just signed my current one. I'm assuming by the trade deadline, you're going to be like, get me the fuck out of here. But we will see. And obviously our Victor Wembanyama, the generational prospect that I still get flamed in the comment section for trading, even though I had a defensive player of the year and Bam Adebayo on my team a couple videos ago, but I'm not getting into that right now. Bench is pretty good. Joshua Primo, the 6th man, Jeremy Sohan, Matisse Thybulle, Zach Collins, and then Sky Clark, who we drafted 12th overall. Yes, we did. For our backup point guard. It sucks I can't get Blake Wesley any minutes here. He was in the G League last year. I'm probably going to send him down there again just because I think he can potentially contribute a little bit more. I'm eventually going to have to do something with him, but as of now, he's just not going to play, and I'd rather have him maybe spend some time in the G League. So I have no idea if he's ever going to be in the G League or not. Probably not because the Spurs do suck, but we'll see. I'll see you guys at the end of year number 2. So it was not a much more successful second season here in San Antonio. Looks like we're going to be having another high draft pick, which I obviously do not mind. We are the 14th seed here in the Western Conference, so second to last. Finally, somebody other than Luka Doncic wins an MVP as Jason Tatum takes home his first career. You'd love to see it. Hopefully something, as a Celtics fan, happens within the next few years. Victor does win Rookie of the Year for 16 points, 9 boards, 2.5 assists, 1.5 steals, 2.5 blocks a game. Awesome to see. Ben Simmons, 6th man of the year. Giannis Antetokounmpo, Defensive Player of the Year. Cole Anthony, Most Improved. Nate McMillan, your Coach of the Year. So, again, I did not expect this team to be in the playoffs, but 31-51. I guess it's 20 wins better than last season. I cannot believe we won 11 games still, but honestly, I'll take it. Colin Sexton led us in scoring. Then it was Keldon Johnson. He seems like... doesn't seem too pissed. Victor Malachi Branham. So it does appear we just need to add a little bit more scoring to this team, which I think everybody can kind of agree is one of kind of the problems with this team, the way it's kind of built right now. Along with that, I think we need another playmaker, potentially a real true point guard, if you will. But yeah, that'll be this offseason. The Grizzlies go back-to-back. John Morant wins his second straight Finals MVP. I wish John Morant would... I'd like to have him in some rebuilds. Also, let me know in the comment section, do you guys ever want to see rebuilds that are potentially longer than my normal 3-year one? I mean, obviously I do 3-year ones, what I've been doing for 5+ years now, but let me know. We are projected the 3rd overall pick. Oh my God, the Thunder have a lot of picks. And the Pelicans, who were just, in the Western Conference Finals. We end up with the 5th overall pick again. Shocker. That sucks. Staff signing, we're fine. Stauffer's not going anywhere. Let's head up to the NBA draft now, see if we have any other picks besides at number 5. We do not. And, yeah, it might be time for a trade. I don't necessarily want to trade either Colin Sexton or Keldon Johnson. I think they both played really well for us, but we might have to clear up a little bit of cap space because we are potentially going to go after a really big free agent. So could be potentially a trade involving one of those two guys right there. If we take a look at the prospects on this board right now, I think if this was a 5-year rebuild, I would probably draft somebody, but in a 3-year rebuild, I don't know if anybody we're going to necessarily get right now is going to be contributing too significantly, besides maybe DJ Wagner, who... Again, I don't know if I want to trade up for back-to-back number 1 overall picks, but, I mean, do I? I mean, I could. I mean, I don't really have a shooting guard right now. Who is this free agency class? It's like, I think Jokic is a free agent, which, actually, even if he is, I'm not going to touch him because he has a supermax, so... That's something I have to remember off the top of my head. Yeah, let's try to trade up. So I was not able to get a deal done for the number 1 overall pick. DJ Wagner was my guy. What I'll do right now is I'll actually sit through the draft. If he doesn't go number 1, which he typically does, I'll try to go ahead and make a trade for him with number 2, whoever does have that pick. But I'm assuming Oklahoma City's, yeah, they took him. So we'll send him up to 5 now. I'm going to draft somebody. They could be in a trade. Maybe could start. Maybe could come off the bench. I don't know which way I'm going to go with this rebuild right now. Let's go ahead and take a look at the summary so far. Kind of wanted potentially either Kwame Evans Jr. or Mikey Williams. That's fine. I know nothing about this draft class, if I'm being completely honest with you. Position-wise, I think, again, point guard is kind of a spot. Bronny James is here just for the clout. I might just take him. I don't think Bronny's necessarily going to be a top 5 pick, but I might do it. Ron Holland's also here, and small forward is kind of a position of need. I also know nothing about Ron Holland. I feel like the smart pick is Ron Holland. I feel like the fun pick is Bronny. I don't know. I can get a point guard or a small forward either way. We're taking Bronny. Why not? I don't remember the last time I drafted Bronny, so welcome to San Antonio. He's a 75 overall. Obviously, probably still not going to start for me. Blake Wesley is going to come back. I feel bad. I've sent this dude to the G League for back-to-back years when he was a first-round pick, and he really probably didn't deserve that. I'm surprised he's not pissed off. But qualifying, Devin Vassell, I'll give the qualifying offer to, and I'll see you guys with a move. So these are the current free agents right now, and let me go through my thought process. Obviously, any of these guys would significantly help out this team. I'm talking about unrestricted. All the restricted ones are going to get matched. I think it would be hilarious how I brought Kawhi back to this team and he led us to a championship. I really would. He's probably my number 1 target right now. Other than that, I think Anthony Davis could be a fun guy to plug in at that power forward spot. Either going to have to trade Keldon Johnson or Colin Sexton to get him. That's for anybody just because I don't have the money right now. I would love Devin Booker, obviously. He's probably the best shooting guard in the NBA. He has the max contract extension, though, so he really wouldn't be here. You guys can let me know your thoughts on that down below. I'm not bringing Dejounte back, as funny as it would be. Other than that, like Towns, I don't need a center, really. And yeah, I don't really love any of those other guys. So it's probably between Kawhi or Anthony Davis right now. It looks like Kawhi is actually interested in taking an offer from the Raptors. Anthony Davis doesn't have a real contract. So I'm going to clear up the cap space, and then I'm going to go ahead and probably get one of those two guys right there. Obviously, we do need to clear up the cap space first, Kawhi, or, it'd either be a power forward or a small forward. So I think with that being said, Keldon Johnson's probably the one that's going to get traded, and then probably along with that, Matisse Thybulle. Nothing wrong with Keldon Johnson. He's honestly played decent for us now that his overall is back up and everything like that. But I want to go ahead and get a star free agent here for the final season, where we're obviously trying to go basically from 15th and 14th seed to champion in a year in pretty much one offseason. So a lot of moves are going to be made. We obviously, oh boy, a lot of these offers were taking back a lot of money. I'm actually going to do this offer for Zaire Williams, and we also get a first-round pick. Obviously not a good trade whatsoever, but we go ahead and clear up the cap space, and then we'll also trade Matisse Thybulle now, who's making about $12 million a year. who honestly just 2 first-round picks here from Cleveland's fine. So do I have any money? No. I still need to clear up some more money if I want somebody like a Kawhi or an Anthony Davis. So who's that going to be? Sexton, I'd rather not trade. I think maybe somebody here. Probably Sky Clark, just because I do have Bronny James. So Sky Clark, thank you for your service, but I have bigger needs right now, and I think, a Kawhi or an Anthony Davis is definitely meets the qualifications for that. So we're kind of, selling all the guys we did really have and the guys that we really did kind of build this team with, if we're being honest. So that sucks. I don't know who this is. Thanks for the first. Is that enough money now for potentially no, it's not. Holy shit, what is it? 47. So I need to clear up another 5. Holy fuck. Do I have to trade Sexton? Or I can just move Zara Williams. That's what I'll probably do. I probably should have just started with that. I mean, he is an 80 overall. How's he actually been playing? I'd rather probably trade him than Branham, just because we've kind of had Branham and developed him. Wow, he's actually been playing pretty decent. I'm going all in, though, especially because I do want to really try to get Kawhi. Obviously, we could get Anthony Davis just with a max offer, just because the other offers he has are all dog shit. Seriously, he's making $6 million, and I can't get a first-round pick. Can you just keep Jose Alvarado? That's fine. All right, so we should have the money for a Kawhi Leonard now. That's actually the max it lets me give him. I'm going to give him a player option and a no-trade clause. I don't want to ruin the surprise, and I'm also going to give Anthony Davis a contract, player option, no-trade clause. He'll obviously accept that just because he doesn't have any other real offers. Wow, we get Kawhi. That's hilarious. I'm going to bring back Kawhi Leonard. Vassell's going to go. Collins is going to go. Everybody else is going to go. And Kawhi Leonard is officially back here in San Antonio. Obviously, one of the most unrealistic things possible. He's going to be our new star and our new starting small forward. But now we kind of need to build this team around him a little bit more. I think there's definitely some things we do need to do. I think a starting power forward. I don't really trust Jeremy Sohan on a championship team. I don't know if I trust Joshua Primo either. And obviously, we're pretty much out of money, which is a really unfortunate thing. But, yeah, it's time to sign some guys. Like, I'm going to probably sign a Jordan Clarkson here and include him in a trade with one of the younger pieces. Because we don't have any trade exceptions either, so I'll see you guys with a move. I'm going to try to get Jaden Ivey for Joshua Primo. This is obviously not ideal. It's just going to go through straight up. Jaden Ivey's been playing well. He's gotten a little bit, it's actually pretty lateral first and second year in Detroit. But I'd love to have him on this team. We do have a lot of first-round picks, which is huge for us. I think our first-round pick next year is also going to be super valuable because we've sucked for the past 2 seasons. We're obviously not going to suck now, but 2K for some reason can't register that. So I'd love to have Jaden Ivey. Wow, they agreed to that. So Jaden Ivey is going to be our new starting shooting guard. We still don't necessarily have that, guy that can get a lot of assists, if you will. Blake Wesley is going to actually be my new backup shooting guard. I'm going to move Jordan Clarkson. Along with I don't want to trade Malachi Branham, but Kawhi doesn't need a backup, so I need a new starting power forward. I don't really trust, if I'm being honest. I don't really trust Sohan for the final season. So, and yeah, 1 first-round pick here. So, again, it's not a lot of money we have to play with, so these offers are going to be probably not too good. But, Josh Giddey could be fun. Honestly, could distribute the ball as well. Do I do that? And then, you know what? I'm going to do that. I'm going to get Josh Giddey. He's going to be my new starting point guard. And then Colin Sexton is going to get traded for a power forward. That's how I'm going to do it. All right, I'll see you guys with the Sexton trade. So I'm going to go all out and try to get Jaren Jackson Jr. I have no idea if this is even possible, but I have a lot of first-round picks, and I'm going to cash them all in right now if it's possible. That pick's not even valuable. Again, I don't think this is probably going to happen, but oh my God, we got Jaren Jackson Jr. Holy shit. Okay, we've made a lot of moves. And again, I'm kind of sad I traded Sexton. He actually played really well for us, but we made a lot of moves that I think are hopefully going to work out for us. This is obviously a little bit of a risk, all the trades we made, just because we haven't won shit yet, and we haven't even made the playoffs yet. We haven't even been in the friggin' plan yet. And now we're trying to go from that all the way to championship in 1 season. I'm just getting a new backup center for Victor Wembanyama. Walker Kessler, fine by me. All right, that is it. That's how it's going to look here for the 3rd and final season. It's still a really young team, except for Kawhi Leonard, so makes me a little nervous, but we'll see. I'll see you guys at the start of the 3rd and final year. We've made a ton of changes this past offseason. Hopefully it's for the better. I mean, obviously this is going to be a playoff team no matter what, but it does make me a little bit nervous. Josh Giddey, Jaden Ivey going to be our backcourt. It's a very different type of backcourt than what we had in previous years. I'm excited to see how it works out. Kawhi has regressed a little bit. It's so weird seeing him back in a Spurs jersey. I kind of like it, though. He's down to an 89 overall. His numbers have obviously gone down, which is obviously fine. He's still probably one of, if not the best two-way player in the league. You can probably say Giannis is at this point, but I'm excited to have him. Jaren Jackson Jr., who's a hell of a defensive player himself, potentially could be a Defensive Player of the Year award winner for us this year, and obviously Victor Wembanyama, generational prospect. Need him to elevate his game. But this is a really fun starting five and kind of one that I've really never had before. The bench is really young. Blake Wesley, who went from playing 2 years in the G League to getting 20 minutes a night and being the sixth man on this team. Kind of insane. Jeremy Sohan, Bronny James, and Walker Kessler. Really young bench. The bench does scare me a little bit, but we're risking it for the biscuit, man. Let's see if we can go basically from worst to first in 1 year. I'll see you guys at the end of year number 3. Third and final season comes to a close, and we are the 1 seed here in the Western Conference. Obviously, we've gone worst to first, basically. Well, we were the 14 seed, but relatively similar, at least regular season-wise. Obviously, the playoffs are super important. LaMelo Ball, your MVP, DJ Wagner, Rookie of the Year. Obviously, I did try to go ahead, trade up, and draft him. It didn't work out. We got Josh Giddey, who I guess was his teammate for about 20 minutes or something like that. But I'll still take it. Ben Simmons, 6th Man of the Year. He wins it every year. Giannis Stevens, Player of the Year. Amen Thompson, Most Improved. Willie Green, Coach of the Year. Not our head coach, but we're still the 1 seed. Guess they love those Pelicans. We tied the Pelicans and the Rockets, actually, with 58 wins. So didn't hit 60 wins in today's video, but still the 1 seed. I will take it. Victor Lettuce in scoring, double-double for him. He's insane. Jaren Jackson Jr., Jay Navi. Kawhi's definitely taking a little bit of a backseat in the scoring department, but other than that, he's still a really good player. Josh Giddey. So obviously we got kind of the assist and a little bit more of the playmaking with him. I'm still really happy with the way this team kind of turned out. Rebounds was Victor, and assists was Josh Giddey. So let's in the play and see who we got. It's going to be the Memphis Grizzlies, the back-to-back defending champions. And I forgot we traded them Colin Sexton, and we traded them Keldon Johnson, and I didn't even realize it. Wait. Did I? Oh my God, I dumped Keldon Johnson for Isaiah Williams. How is this a playing team? Holy shit, we're taking on 2. I didn't even realize I traded them both to Grizzlies. They're better than us, probably. Or close to. Ja's a stud. Like, how do I end up with, like, these stacked teams in the first round always? It's always the play-in teams. Thunder. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, DJ Wagner, Denny Avdija, who came over. Ida Dick, Miles Bridges, Chet Holmgren, Trey Mann, Poku. Bridges always ends up on the Thunder. I mean, he's going to end up in prison in real life, but I don't know why. It's just kind of weird in this game how it always happens. We're really going to lose in the second round. We're down 3-2. 3-3. All right. I guess we're going to go back to cheesy Massa. I've been trying to take a little bit of a different approach. Wow, Chet, Jesus Christ. In some of these rebuilds, obviously, I've been kind of playing like the long game and kind of waiting till the final season to build out my stacked team, and it hasn't really worked out, to be honest. So, yeah, maybe Kawhi wasn't the right signing. I still had a ton of fun bringing him back, and ultimately this Spurs team had an insane turnaround in 3 years. So I had fun with it. Obviously, it didn't work out for us, but cheesy Massa probably coming back. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. Of course, leave any other video ideas you guys do have down below in the comment section. If you guys are new around here, could do me a favor, subscribe to the channel. I'd greatly appreciate it. If you could leave a like on the video, that would mean the world to me. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys. I'll catch you guys all in the next one.